All right. So, Scott, I'm excited about this one. Today, we're going to talk about Michelangelo's painting on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome, which I actually got to see in person myself, and it's pretty awesome space and painting.
Yeah, I did too, and
Um,
I was just rushed through there. You feel like a cow in the show,
yeah,
you know. You're
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
I just got a
yeah.
glimpse.
Keep
But
moving, keep moving.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's actually the second most famous piece of art in the world after the
really.
Mona Lisa. This
Wow,
creation of Adam fresco, and
cool.
I'm sure everyone recognizes it. But what I want to draw your attention to
Let's
is
dive in.
several
Yeah.
things. Yeah. So
Mhm.
first, there was a paper published a couple of years ago by a whole group of scientists who measured the fresco, and
Mhm.
they discovered that the famous point where Adam and God's fingers almost touch
Mhm.
is precisely at the golden ratio with respect to the width of the entire fresco.
I'm looking at it here. It's amazing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
I
Like
mean, and you
undeniably.
think what do you think about that? Those fingers coming together, Geoff. What does that represent? You suppose the God and Adam almost touching, but not quite.
Well, it's got to be like for me, it's something about the sort of the marriage of heaven, which is represented by God, and earth, which is represented by Adam. And then there's a whole trip on the gap between the fingers, like have their fingers just touched? Are their fingers about to touch? Or will their fingers never touch? And is this the kind of the invisible veil that kind of blinds us to the heavenly realms or whatever? It's just there's a lot in it, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's like for me, it reminds me of how the body and the soul interact, and how God just touching Adam's finger is almost like the soul coming into the body,
Mm,
and it's that tension,
yeah.
it's that gap that so much ink has been spilled, and so many people have seen this picture all around the world. Um,
Mm,
and what I want to show is bringing up Franklin Meshberger's paper he wrote way back in 1990.
yeah.
He is a neurosurgeon, and he recognized that the depiction of God and his entourage there is actually a depiction of the human brain in cross section.
It's
And
fascinating.
and
This is
so because he
fascinating.
was a
Yeah.
neurosurgeon, he recognized this is really there's a lot there are a lot of correlations here, like with the feet of the angels and God and the whole shape of it, that it
Yeah,
is.
I'm looking at it here. It's like the medulla is represented, the
Yeah,
pituitary stalk, the optic chiasm. It's
yeah.
it's. I mean, I don't know neurology, but I'll take this guy's word for it.
Well,
It
and
certainly
Leonardo and
looks like a brain.
Michelangelo were in some of these Renaissance geniuses who actually spent time cutting up cadavers and really looking at everything in the human body. And
Did
so,
they?
yeah, and so
Ah,
Michelangelo was drawing from life. He must have cut a brain in half, and he was depicting it here. But I
interesting.
want to add something to this whole mix, which is my discovery of the golden ratio vertically.
Hmm.
If you put in a golden rectangle vertically on the fresco, where it's anchored, you know, on the top and the bottom,
Yeah,
the
I'm
golden
looking at it
ratio
here.
is exactly at Adam's eye. And if you
Mm.
follow that across, Adam's eye goes right into the heart of God. And the
This
heart
is
of God, if this
immaculate.
is really a depiction of the neuroanatomy, that would correspond with the pineal gland or third
Hmm.
eye within the brain.
Hmm.
And so I think when you bring all of this together, you start to appreciate the golden ratio and its connection with elevated states of consciousness, with the third
Hmm.
eye, with the ability to introspect and
Hmm.
experience God or experience higher realms
Hmm.
through this mechanism. Um, and I think Michelangelo this was no accident. This is very precise. This could
Yeah.
only have happened if he had laid out his fresco using the golden ratio. You
It's
know,
very precise.
it's very
Yeah.
much like Leonardo that we talked about in the previous episode, where he was very precisely laying out his composition with the
Hmm.
golden rectangle.
I
Um,
love this one, Scott. It's almost like in order to see the heart of God or the divine, um, it's a bit patriarchal, isn't it? This whole image and that. But anyway, that's the age it came from. But let's just say, in order to see the heart of the divine, one needs to look within. You know, it's that it's actually your own third eye, you know, which I believe is seated in the pineal gland. That would really actually resonate with me personally, you know, that I feel any kind of meaningful transformation occurs from embarking upon an inward journey of some sort, you know. So I really like this interpretation of this painting.
And I think Michelangelo could have perhaps gotten in a lot of trouble for this, because if you read this, it's kind of like this: God is accessible to all by going
Yeah,
within.
yeah,
And it's not like you have to go out to the priesthood or whatever and
yeah,
access God through that. But it's embedded in our neurophysiology. It's in the mind's eye that we can find and connect with higher realms.
yeah. I love it, Scott. Amazing. Good job. And this is a Scott original, by the way, everybody. You know, I think I just want to be your cheerleader here, Scott. But guys, please let us know what you think. We'd love to get your thoughts. We'd love to see the comments coming in. So if you haven't subscribed, we like when you do that too. And we'll see you in the next video.